For a while now, I've had this quiet feeling. It's just an observation, really, about the way we experience time. Not the day-to-day, but something much bigger. A sense that ever since the millennium, the whole rhythm of history has, well, it's shifted.
Have you felt it too? This feeling of living in one long, stretched-out moment? It's subtle, it's really hard to put your finger on it, but it's there. It's a sense that the chapters of our collective story, they just don't seem to turn with that same crispness anymore.
To really get what I'm talking about, let's just go back for a minute. Let's go back to a time when the future felt like a place we were actually headed, a destination that was, well, it was right there, just over the horizon.
Remember the year 2000? It wasn't just another year, was it? It felt like a real threshold, a clean break from everything that came before, and this almost ceremonial start to something totally new. You could practically feel the forward momentum.
Back then, the word progress, it just felt different. It wasn't some vague, fuzzy concept. It felt like a tangible direction, a road we were all on together. The future wasn't just an idea. You could almost see it. It had a shape.
And that future felt so concrete. We had these roadmaps, predictions with actual dates on them. Robotic armies, space tourism for everyone, healthcare transformed. Now, whether any of that actually came true isn't really the point. The point is, we had a shared picture of where we were all going.
But then, somewhere along the way, that feeling of a clear path just started to dissolve. That sense of arrival gave way to something else. This feeling of being perpetually stuck in the middle of something without a clear start or a finish line.
The 2000s, they still had their own identity. You can picture it, right? The fashion, the music. It felt like its own chapter. A follow-up to the 90s for sure, but with its own distinct flavor. It was a transition, yeah, but you could tell what it was.
Then the 2010s rolled around, and this is where things start to get a little blurry. The cultural lines between the late 2000s and the early 2010s, they just started to fade into each other. The styles, the tech, the anxieties, they didn't really change so much as they just got louder.
And now here we are, the 2020s. So what defines this decade? Is there some distinct cultural shift, or does it just feel like a continuation? Kind of like we're still living in the world that was built in the last decade, but somebody just turned all the dials up to 11.
It's this sense that our culture just started recycling itself. Change is constant, of course. New things happen every single day. But it feels more circular now, not like we're moving forward. The underlying rhythm just feels strangely familiar.
So this long period hasn't really been defined by an identity, has it? It's been defined by a set of persistent feelings, this sense of waiting for something, a constant storm of change, but with no real direction, and just this general feeling of being suspended, stuck between a past that won't go away and a future that never quite shows up.
And all of this brings us right here, to this present moment, a time that doesn't feel like a destination at all. It just feels like the journey.
We're so used to thinking about history in these neat little boxes. The Roaring '20s, the '60s, they have a clear identity. But a transition is different. By its very nature, it's temporary, it's unfinished. It's not the place you arrive, it's the bridge you're taking to get somewhere else.
And maybe that's the heart of it all. This nagging sense that the real future, the one we were all imagining back at the turn of the millennium, it's just been postponed indefinitely. Everything feels like it's in a state of becoming, but never quite arriving.
And that's a real challenge for how we see ourselves, isn't it? If we're not in a new era, but we're just in the long, drawn-out ending of an old one, then how do we even begin to make sense of our place in the story?
And maybe that's the biggest question of all. If we are in fact living inside one long transition, where is it taking us? What's on the other side of this bridge?